Oh, hi! Good morning, friends. ThatPsySquatch here. Today, we're here on the Slaughtercraft server. And the plan is to turn this simple redstone randomizer circuit into an absolute rage-inducing minigame. So what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. Now, how exactly does this randomizer work? Well, all that we have is we have a dropper that has one item that can stack to 64 and one item that can't stack with anything. Now what this does is it creates a 50-50 chance when I press this button for either one or the other item to be sent to the dropper. And if it's the item that doesn't stack, that will send a signal all the way to this lamp. And if it's the seeds, which stack up to 64, it will only send out a signal of 1. And so the signal won't actually reach all the way. So for example, if we hit this button, if it's the seeds that get sent into the hopper, as you saw, the signal didn't get all the way to the lamp. But if we press it again, nothing. Press it again. This time we actually got the signal all the way to the lamp. And press it again, nothing. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this simple mechanic to make a minigame that contains multiple different challenges. So here's what I'm thinking for the first room. The challenge is gonna be that the player needs to run along this path, but every step they take is gonna have a 50-50 chance on triggering these pistons, which is then going to kick the player off, and then they're gonna slide all the way down. Probably gonna have to get rid of that moss, and then they're gonna have to start over. So first things first, let's go ahead and place down the droppers as well as the hoppers. We'll just place those every other spot. Oh, and you know what? That's actually gonna make things a little difficult. Let me break this really quick. I guess before I should do that, I should place down the repeaters for this spot. Now, the spots in between the hoppers, these actually aren't gonna be a 50-50 chance. All this is gonna do is just trigger the piston on a delay, and then that way the player is not going to be able to hop back and forth between the spots and try to cheat the system. So again, let me just place down our repeaters and then our remaining droppers and hoppers. Now, next we need to set up the triggering so that when the player walks over these spots, that it'll trigger either the dispenser or the repeater for the other piston. And for that, under each one of these spots, we'll just place one redstone dust, do that all the way down. And then here along the top, we'll just place a series of pressure plates. And now that we have the pressure plates in place, behind each one of these hoppers, we need to place a comparator, and then we need 2 redstone dust, and then we need a repeater. And then this is going to feed all the way up to the piston. And what that is going to do is that's going to set up that when the player steps on this spot right here, there'll be a 50-50 chance that the piston will be triggered. And then as for this spot, right directly in front of the piston, we just want to trigger that on a delay. So we'll place a couple repeaters here. We'll just put those on 4 ticks for now. We'll do one more repeater, and then we can feed this up the back this way. Now again, what that'll do is once we place our randomizers in here, we'll have a 50-50 chance here, and then when we step here, there'll just be a slight delay, and then this piston will always be triggered. And again, the reason for that is then when the player gets here, if this piston opens and blocks their path, they can't step back, let that reset, step forward, and, cheat the system. So let me go ahead and finish placing down these circuits, and then we'll take a look to see how it's working. All right, friends, here we go. I got the first room set up. Let's give it a quick look. So I've gone through and I filled out the wall. I also went through all the droppers and I placed our 1 non-stackable item and our 1 stackable item. I also went through and set up all the redstone for this logic. And now let's go ahead and see if it's working the way I was planning. Let's move this out of the way. We'll just put you right there for now. Okay, so just to test this out, this one's not hooked up to anything. If we step on this one, we should get a 50-50 chance of that block getting spit out. So far, that looks to be working pretty well. And then on the second, let's try that again. Come on. See, this is actually why I don't want the player to be able to back up and cheat the system. But then on the next one, it should just be slightly delayed, and then it kicks the player off. So if we go ahead and run right back up here to the top, let's go ahead and see if we can make it through. Okay, that's try 1. Okay. Attempt 2. Oh my god, we did it. We're amazing. We're so good. Okay, and now for sanity's sake, I want to make sure that, the player can't just beat the system reliably, just over and over and over and over. Oh, I almost thought I was gonna beat it again, guys. And try this again. That one was a quick one. And attempt 4. Come on. Oh, wow, what happens there? Hold on, gotta eat. Let's see if we can reproduce what just happened. That was a little bit of a weird one. And we'll run. God, and go. Go. And go. God. Stretch and go. Oh, we did it again. We're so amazing. Okay, well, on a good note, it's doable. I didn't want the game to be absolutely not doable. But that... How many times? Is that 2, like, we've won 2 out of 10 times? All right, it's not too bad. I don't want to go broke making this mini game because I'm hoping to reward the player with like some diamonds or something, but we'll see how it goes. God. Okay, one more chance. Go. Oh, we're incredible. I'm unstoppable. Okay, so challenge 1, it's set up, it's working. I might need to tweak it a little bit. I'm not sure if it's too easy at the moment, but for now, let's go ahead and move on to challenge 2. Now, originally for challenge 2, I had different plans, and unfortunately, those plans turned out they did not work out very well. So first things first, we actually need to change things up here really quick. First, I'm getting rid of the trapdoor idea. It turns out that could be cheated too easily by either stepping in the middle or always stepping on the side, and that way when the trapdoor opens, the player doesn't fall through. So we're gonna have to make this a little more difficult. Grab these trapdoors, and then let me explain the idea for the second challenge after I find my way out of this godforsaken hole. Okay, so here's my idea for the second room. The second room is just going to be an empty hallway that the player has to run through, and then there are going to be 2 different points in the hallway where there is going to be a chance for the floor to open up beneath the player, allowing the player to fall through, and then they're going to have to go all the way back, all the way through room 1, and they're going to have to start all the way from the beginning. So the idea here is that these pistons are always going to be extended. We're going to be able to do that by placing some target blocks just right along here. Oops, give me that back. And then we can get rid of all of this wool. And instead of the wool, we'll replace it with redstone torches. All the way along down the line. And then that causes the floor to get extended. And then we're going to have to do that over here on this side as well. Like so. And this is what it's going to look like. So the player is going to reach here. Everything's going to look like a normal hallway. These sides are going to be closed off. And then as they run through, we are going to have 2 different opportunities for a calibrated skulk sensor to pick up the detection of the player. And then that's going to invert these signals, causing the floor to get swept out from underneath our feet. And then we're going to drop down and have to start from the beginning. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at the redstone for this second challenge. Now, the redstone for this room is actually not that difficult. All that we're going to have to do is we're going to drop right on down here. We're going to place a lectern, and then we're going to place a comparator out of the back of that. We're going to feed that into a wool block. We'll place a couple more here. Right in the center, we'll place a calibrated skulk sensor. And then out of this back wool block, we'll do another comparator. That is going to feed into a dropper facing up. And then we need a hopper facing down into that dropper. Now I should be able to just do a line of wool over to these redstone torch towers. And then coming out of both sides of this hopper, we're going to do a comparator in each direction. And then redstone dust all the way to the torch tower. Now here on the other side, we're just going to do the same exact thing. So lectern, comparator, a little circle of wool, and then we'll place down our calibrated skulk and our comparator into that dropper. Next up on both of these lecterns, we'll place a book set to a strength of 1. And that is going to signify walking for the player. So we'll place a book over here on this side. And then we'll go ahead and we'll set up our randomizer with our 2 items, not that shovel, that shovel. Okay, and it looks like it's already picking up our footsteps, but let's go ahead and see if this is working. I don't want to do everything. Here, we'll just come by to here. There we go. Okay. So if I have this set up correctly, probably stepping right here, it should sense us. Awesome. Why did only one side of those open? Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to put redstone dust on that side. So we'll jump on up here. Ugh, made it. And redstone dust. Let's also shut up these skulk sensors, because they are already driving me absolutely batty. Okay, and now let's go ahead and see if this is working. So we'll just run straight across, and we should have 2 different opportunities for the floor to get pulled away. And that's not a very good sign right there. Run across. We're kind of reaching the other side, peeps. Do I have to lengthen it a bit? All right. Well, that time it worked. Let's hop back up here. Now, I do want this second room to be a little bit easier than the first, kind of something to give the player a break. But I still want it to be just as ruthless, to be honest. All right, then we run across. See, okay, so that second one is too far away. Let's see what we can do about this, peeps. All right, friends, I think I figured out some improvements, so let me go ahead and show you what I've done. First off, I've removed the skulk sensors from down here, and I've moved them up above the hallway. The main reason for that is so that now we can actually silence this hallway. So when players lose and they have to run back through, it's not going to cause the pistons above to just keep triggering. And then the second reason for the change is it puts the skulk sensors a little bit closer to the player, and so they could actually respond quicker and pull out the floor faster. Now, I might still have to play around with the wool placement up here, but basically I'm just trying to figure out a good layout for muting the sensor so that it doesn't pick up the player from like running through this section or from running around in this room. I don't want the pistons to be triggering. So now this should just trigger just when we walk directly into the hallway, and then it should also allow the second one to pick up the movement of the player and open the bridge before we actually get to the end. So now we should have truly 2 different chances of failing the room. And since we didn't make huge major changes, I won't, waste much more of your time, but let's just try a couple quick runs just to see if it's working. All right, so we'll get right back here. Stretch. 1, 2, go. We're going through. Go. Okay. All right, peeps. That was freaking awesome. That pulled the floor out exactly where I was hoping. It gives you the impression that you're going to win, that you're going to be victorious, and then just right at the last moment, the floor gets swept out from under your feet and you fail. All right, we'll give this one more chance. Run. Go. Oh, okay, that's great timing. That's exactly what I wanted. So now let's go ahead and move on to our third and final challenge. Okay, so here's the plans for the last challenge. For this one, we're going to have a really long hallway. It's going to be a little bit taller than the previous ones. But the idea here is that we're going to have a short clock that is going to be randomly triggering these pistons. And the player is going to have to figure out a way to jump from side to side and make their way all the way to the end. So to start, what we're first going to do is I'm actually going to plot out about 5 blocks behind each one of these pistons, and that way we can start placing the randomizers. So the idea is behind each one of these, we'll just place 5 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the wool, we'll place the logic we need for the randomizers. And so again, that's just 2 redstone dust, comparator, and then we're going to need a dropper facing this way and a hopper into that. And then for that, we'll just have to do that on each one of these all the way around. So let me go ahead and do that really quick, and then we'll get to the clock and the pulse extenders. And don't mind me, we're just over here at Chicken King's really quick because I ran out of redstone. And so I need to go shopping. Thank you, Chicken King. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Okay, so I've gone through and I've set up all the randomizers, and I've also strung them together. The best way to think of this is we're splitting the room into 2 different modules. So we're going to have one module that's going to be the front end of the hallway, and then we're going to have a second separated module, which is going to be the back half of the room. So I basically went through and figured out where I want to set the clocks, as well as how those clocks are going to connect to each one of these randomizers. Now, as for the clocks, you guessed it, we're going to make a good old Etho hopper clock. Actually, I'm just joking. You're not going to believe this, but today we're actually going to make a different type of clock. Now, for the torch clock, here's what we're going to do. We're going to place down a block. On that, we're going to do a redstone torch. Outside of, or off of that, we're going to do, let's see, a repeater. We'll do 4 ticks. And then that's going to go into 2 redstone dust. And then we'll turn back around, do a repeater back the other direction. Let's see, 4 ticks on both of these. And then we should just do redstone up and over that. And then I believe we actually want to feed this into a pulse extender. So we'll do comparator back and forth into another block. And then this should connect up with this. Oh, okay. Hold on. Excellent. Okay. So now that should be going along, triggering every single one of these randomizers. For good measure, I'm just going to put a lever there so I could turn things off. And then this, we are going to have to feed all the way along and connect to this other side. So right down here. And then down here on the other side, we should have to do another repeater. We'll do 4 ticks, 4 ticks, into a redstone dust, and then into another repeater. And then I think we're going to have to put this into another pulse extender. Is that right? Wait, would that be a pulse extender on each side? Why does that not seem right? Oh well, let's go ahead and try it. So comparator forward, comparator back. That into another block. And then we should be able to connect all of this up to this module. Let's do 4 ticks on that. Okay. Now, if we go ahead and take a step back, we should see this side trigger, and then this side trigger, and then back and forth. Okay, I think that's working how we want it. So now let's go ahead and set up the back section, the back module, and then let's fill in the walls and see if this actually works. Peeps, I think that's it. Hold on, let's take a look. Let's jump back here really quick. Oh, no, see, look, silly me. We need to bring you this way. I really hope I didn't break anything. Okay, let's jump over here. See if we're seeing everything triggering on both sides. Or, I guess, randomly triggering. And then are you guys triggering back there? I'm not seeing anything. Let's take a look at what's happening back here. Oh, okay. No, they are working. They're just... Oh my god! Apparently I forgot to hook them up all the way. Silly me. Okay, you and you, and you, and you. Whoops, we need to block that off. Now we should be able to block you off. And redstone there, redstone there. Okay, now everything should be working. Okay, so if we just take a look for a second, it looks like everything is triggering back and forth here. And then in the back half of the room, we also have everything triggering back and forth. Awesome. Let's go ahead and turn things off for a second so I can fill in the walls. And then I'll be right back with you, peeps. All right, friends, the third challenge is set up behind me. It's ready to go. Let's go ahead and give it a few test runs. First things first, let's go ahead and take off my elytra, because I don't think I'm going to allow elytra for the minigame. That just kind of makes sense. Otherwise, it'd be a little too easy to cheat. But let's go ahead and see if we can make it. Oh, and before we do this, when I was setting up the redstone, I realized that I had performed the absolute cardinal rule against redstone building, and that's that I placed redstone on dirt and stone. So I really quick went through and I actually placed everything on different blocks. And then that way, if I'm mining around underneath or something, I won't just, mistakenly break something that then destroys everything that we've worked to do here. Okay, stretch. Let's do this. We'll run right up. Let's jump. And I suck. All right, take 2. Nope. Nope, I almost jumped the gun there. Oh, with that one. And take 3. Okay. Calm. Let's wait for our opportunity. Oh, dude, that one. You know what? That's a really good job I did there, because that block is absolutely maddening. I do not know how to jump, apparently. Okay. And attempt 4. Did you just see how many blocks just opened up right there? Like oh, you know what? We're trying over. Yes, yes, yes. No. I got too eager, peeps. Okay. All right, we got this. I know we have this. Oh, you're so maddening. And we'll go. We'll go. Oh, checkpoint, peeps. Okay, all right, we got this. I know. Oh, I should have went. That seemed like a really good opportunity. Dang it. Okay, we got this. Checkpoint. Okay. Okay. Calm. Take a few deep breaths. We got this. Yes. Why did I try a 4-block jump? That was just an awful skill issue right there. Jump. We got this? Okay. All right. Peeps, we have this. Just goose fraba. Everything is fine. Okay. Just take our time. I really badly wanted to jump for that. I don't know why. Okay. Yes. Yeah. No. Okay. All right. We're here again. This time we'll make it. Okay. All right. Just wait for our opportunity. Oh, I almost wait for our opportunity. Come on. This next one. Perfect. No. Why am I so awful at this? Last try, peeps. This is gonna be the one. If it's not gonna be the one, then so be it. Okay. And yes, sure. Let's jump. Yes. Jump. Got it. Okay. We got this. Yep. Let's go for it. Why did I do that? Why did I do that, peeps? Why did I jump backwards? Okay, fine. We have to do one more. And again, breathe. I don't know why I almost tried that. We'll jump across here to you. We'll jump here to you. Yes. Okay. This is the one, peeps. This is the one. This is where we become victorious. No! Oh, we were so close. You scumbag. Well, friends, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it here for the day. I've had an absolute blast working on this minigame. I hope you all are enjoying it as well. And as always, I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I will see you in the next episode. Laters!